Hey book nerds, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sydney if you are new here. So if you like what you see, if you like bookish content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, it helps me grow, and it gets this content out to other people who might relate and also enjoy bookish content. So today I'm going to do a brief review of A 40-Year Kiss. So this is definitely a romance novel by Nicholas Butler. It is definitely not what I normally gravitate towards. It's got an older couple, and I also just typically don't read a whole lot of traditional romance either. I usually either read romantasy or I read thriller. I don't really just pick up a romance novel. I am very glad that I did and broadened my horizons with this one. Long story short, it is about a man named Charlie who ends up moving back to, believe it's in Wisconsin. But he had a lot of issues. He retired, he got left this old farm, and so he moves back, and he's never been able to get his first wife out of his mind. And so he moves back, reconnects with her. He asks her out for drinks over Facebook or the internet somehow, and then they start trying to navigate what it could look like of if they got back together or not, and if it is worth it, if they can make it work, because they did have a very tumultuous relationship the first time, and now they're both in their 60s, and there's been a lot of relationships that happened, marriages, kids, all of the things that happen when you are in your 60s and single that most people of that age demographic have gone through. Like my grandmother at her retirement community, when she was independent living, a lot of her friends, when they were younger than her and they were in their 60s and 70s, and they were getting remarried to a guy that they met there, and they had been divorced or they were widowed, and they had to balance like the kids and meeting the kids and what do they tell them and all of those things. So that's pretty much a synopsis of this book. So I was kind of skeptical, English. I was kind of skeptical. I honestly bought it because it sounded interesting and I like the edges. But I'm always nervous when I pick up a romance novel that is written by a man. Men do not typically do romance very well. So that was definitely something that I was weary of. But honestly, Nicholas Butler, Mr. Butler, you did it right. So there was definitely some spice. It was not a whole lot. There were some alludings to things that they had done together in the past. A little bit modern, but not much. And then, so if you do not read spicy romance, or you don't like any spice and you're not one of those where like you can just skip past it, you would probably want to steer clear of this one because it does have some allusions to it. It does have some coarse language in it, so just be wary of that. So I think I gave it 3.75 on Fable when I finished it today. I did listen to it. It was a very easy listen, very easy read. If you are a fast reader, you can probably knock it out in an afternoon in just a few hours. I am not, which is why I listen to a lot of my books. I love reading all of the books, but I don't have enough hours in the day to read them all. So I listen to a lot of them when I'm cleaning, when I'm baking, when I'm cooking, when I'm working, when I'm crafting, when I'm driving, pretty much any time where I have the ability to listen to a book, I will. Because I just love the content. I love a good story. And this was definitely a good story. It was not like a 4 or 5 star. Did not blow me away. Did not knock my socks off. But it was a very sweet story. There's a little bit of tension, but not as much tension and friction as I like. I'm definitely a fan of either the lovers to enemies to lovers, or the just straight enemies to lovers, or even the forced proximity to lovers. Like if you've read Funny Story by Emily Henry, that kind of situation where they're kind of like a big thing happens and they end up having to move in with somebody and they're like, I don't really know you. It's like, I'm not a big fan of you. But then they end up realizing that this is what was meant to be in the first anyway. So like, I love those kinds of stories. And this one was just very, very sweet, he needed to let go of some of the issues that he had and trying too hard, and she needed to let go of the past and like recognize that it's okay to accept help. It's okay to accept more than what you've given yourself. And it's just a very sweet romance of reconciliation and reunion and joy and answered questions and closure. And it's one of those where I definitely thought the ending was going to be a lot different and a lot more sad. And it was going to end up being a tragedy more than an actual happy love story. But I will let you realize what the ending is, whether that was true, or if it was a happy ending. So I'll let you read it to figure that out for yourself. But definitely a good book. I would definitely recommend it. And it is on Libby if you are in my area, but it may not be at everyone's library. I believe you can also get it as a Kindle book. I am not sure if it is on KU. I should have looked and I didn't, and I'm sorry. But yeah, I think I would definitely recommend this if you like romance. Now, if you're one that you need a ton of action and you need people punching and fighting and like drama and all of that, you're not going to get a whole lot out of this. This was just a very sweet, very romance forward story. It was not, they were fighting over her, and small town girl has to pick between the local coffee shop guy, the big city lawyer, and all of that. It was very, very sweet, very simple, very well done. But do not expect a whole lot of tension and fighting. It was just a very sweet love story. So, I am so excited to share this book with you. If you read this book, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm so happy that you are here. You are loved. You are worth it. The world needs you. You have a purpose. And if that purpose is baking sourdough bagels and recording YouTube videos about books, so be it. Because that is currently what I am doing. Sitting in my guest bedroom with books behind me while I just started the fermentation process for sourdough bagels. Because I can. And that is what I enjoy doing in my free time. Especially when my husband is not home. I just like it. It's fun. It is fun for me. So find your purpose. You have one. I promise you. You were created with a purpose in mind. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.